did all the.
This meeting is being recorded.
All right.
All right. So did you want to do the introductions since you are our host?
All right. So,
Here?
okay. Has everybody got their recordings and their AI moving on the deal? All right. All right. So welcome everyone to the first UnityNet FAU Earth Day celebration. This celebration today is a historic celebration because the world is setting a new world order. Be clear, in the 21st century, 25 years into the 21st century, we are in the era of setting a new world order. So we joined in with UnityNet on Boxing Day, which is December 26, 2024, Friends of the African Union, which is an American-based civil society organization that was built in 2012 around American law that included the 1930 approval of the Treaty of Berlin, where America is a signature of that 1885 treaty that the U.S. Senate approved it in 1930, thereby making Americans responsible under that treaty in the 21st century for people of African descent. And that in that the global African community of 1.6 billion people now has one organization to represent it worldwide, which is the Permanent Forum on People of African Descent, as the nations of the world on August 2nd, 2021 created that. Previous to that, of course, we had the creation of the framework around climate change, that the world recognized that there was man-made changes to the climate, that the first, second, and third industrial revolutions had caused changes, but that there was disagreement in the United States and the Western world about this and the payment of this. Well, now, in this year, from this date, there's an alternative solution that's been put forth at the Permanent Forum on People of African Descent under the title Financing Reparatory Justice, to create a United States compact, not United States of America, a United States compact for democracy with a just economy. And from this day forward is to talk about if that went through and that there was $100 billion a year available for the next 75 years, how would that be spent? That's a proposition, folks. It's not reality. What we're going to talk about today is reality. And to facilitate that reality, we're going to ask Lloyd Heffley manage that reality. Lloyd, the floor is yours.
So thank you very much, Herschel. So what I will be doing today is a presentation to open this up. And so I will start by sharing my screen. We don't have any sound, but I will share this sound in case. Okay, so everybody, I'd like to welcome you to the UnityNet Under Day, as we call it. It is Earth Day 5, which was created to support a proposed horn blowing ceremony with the Yaku tribe in the Rift Valley of Kenya. along with drumming ceremonies worldwide. So this is our opening presentation today to introduce you to our new UnityNet network nodes and initiatives that seek to foster unity, globalization, and regenerative development. So let me just see if I can get to the next screen here. I do want to as well open up the chat window as well on my desktop. So I have it here. So I do want to welcome everyone to UNDRIP Day, as we call it. This is Earth Day 2025. Happy April 22nd. We'd like to have everyone take a deep breath and feel the energy. So today, right here, we're not just celebrating, we're launching a movement. It is a movement to avert the climate, water, and food crises that threaten us all. So we call this our CycleWorks project, thinking about the magic of biochar alongside living re-architecture as our ticket to a better future. And guess what? We are seeking to team up with organizations like the Aga Khan Development Network and the Government of Canada to make it global. So in 6 days, Canada votes. And for those of you here in this country, your voice can turn this spark into a wildfire of change. So I hope you are ready to plant peace and build something extraordinary. So let's dive in here. And let me just put some information in the chat as we move forward. So if we look around us at our world, we are in a bit of trouble. Climate change is torching our forests and flooding our homes. Water is drying up and turning toxic. Food is at risk, and our soils are eroding. So we've seen wildfires in British Columbia, floods in Quebec, and here in Ontario, the recent severe ice storm over the weekend of March 29th to 30th, which caused extensive power outages, hazardous road conditions, and infrastructure damage, leading to significant disruptions across the province, with the most severe weather event since 1998 ice storm. So it's real, and it is now. Add in Trump's tariffs and the annexation noise, and Canada's got to step up. So we've been wired to fight, to compete like it's the only way to survive. But that is actually insanity moving forward. Here's the truth. We can fix this, but it is not about battling each other. It's about working together and leveraging nature, leveraging our stories, and leveraging our smarts. So today, what we need to do is stop the fighting and start the healing. I do hope that you are ready to move forward in this path. So I would like everybody to meet the UnityNet CycleWorks team, which is our little secret weapon. So if we picture a local waste, branches, husks, all manner of green wastes, including invasive species, and turning that into biochar. The black gold locks in carbon in the ground, rebuilds soils, holds water like a sponge, and grows food like crazy. When we embed it into our community infrastructure, including productive living re-architecture solutions, beautiful, sustainable homes, and spaces that work with nature, not against it, it's fairly simple. We have youth working with their elders, the watershed grandmothers, and their elder mentors, to fire up these cook stoves in the climate-smart kitchens, communities planting the seeds, using the AI tools, open and available to all people, to guide us, imagining our local communities, like where I am here in Richmond Hill and Markham and Toronto, with the climate smart gardens everywhere. And we ask you to connect with your mayors, your Rotary clubs. Start this summer. Let them know that there are local solutions that each of us can implement right here, where I am, for instance, in the Don watershed, and everywhere across Canada, and all across Turtle Island, and all around the world, in all our local communities, with our family and our friends. This isn't just technology, it's a mindset shift. Competition's out, collaboration's in. So this is the story of UnityNet. Again, I am putting a couple of links in the chat as we move forward, and I'll be doing this for each slide as well. So today's the launch, and this year we'll be planting the first tree of peace and reconciliation with our partners from the Friends of the African Union and the members of the UnityNet FAU BIPOCA Alliance Canada Bureau as a symbol of unity, resilience, and a better way. So this is the UnityNet Abraham project, and it's going global with an aim to plant 1 million trees globally, if we can, by World Environment Day, June 5th. We're also building on the Aga Khan's legacy, where back in 2011, he sparked a tree planting revolution, and his Agency for Habitat hitting 10 years strong. So Canada is our launch pad, and 30 plus countries with AKDN are on our radar. So if we picture this tree in our own city, town, or neighborhood, right here in Canada, in Kenya, in Tajikistan, connecting us all, it's not just a tree, it's a promise. So I would like to ask, who's planting with us today? So the bigger story than today is the plan. So this year, in 2025, we launch right now, aiming to plant 1 million trees by this June, both here in Canada and in all of those countries, with the youth and the elders leading these efforts all year. And in 2027, by that year, with AKDN's 60th anniversary coming up, we can have 60 million trees planted all around the world, $1 billion in green investments, and a Regenerative Future Summit event with Canada at the helm. And by 2030, we're rewriting the rules with a new set of regenerative development goals based on existing set of goals called the Mending Goals for a world that doesn't just survive, it thrives, where we're partnering with the FAU and the AKDN and UN Habitat and Canada's global networks, the G20, the Commonwealth, you name it. From the Don watershed to the world, we're building an abundance economy, not fighting, but fixing. We want to feel that potential among all of us. So, of course, in 6 days from now, on April 28th, Canada votes. This isn't just an Earth Day party, it's a wake-up call. So tell your candidates, back the UnityNet CycleWorks team, back the Canada AKDN FAU vision. Why? Because of jobs, youth peace gardens, climate smart kitchens and story pods in every community, in every riding, working with the banks, the chambers of commerce, the Rotary clubs, the interfaith partners, the Indigenous peoples, the YMCA, the Scouts, the UNA, and every school in your community. Resilience means food and water security for all. Pride in Canada leading the world. Invite them here today or take this to them tomorrow. If they're smart, they'll see it. This wins votes and builds legacies. We're not waiting for permission. We're starting now, and they can catch up. And I'd like to know who is ready to make some noise. So what is your role? It is the community power. So this is on us, you and me, and all of us, to join us and plant a tree of peace and reconciliation in your own local community on June 5th, World Environment Day, and join the ceremonies globally. The UnityNet Cycle Works needs to be taught to your mayor, your Lions Club, your book club, your family. Get climate smart cook stoves going in your own backyard, your community as well. Grab your favorite AI tools and join the UnityNet Living Recalendar events throughout the rest of the year, this year and beyond. Follow us on Eventbrite. They're all free events and they're yours. With our Indigenous partners, we're honoring all our relations, nature, each other, our watersheds, sports, arts, stories. They're our glue. Stop competing for just the leftovers and scraps, and instead start connecting with all of the story pods, because you are the spark. Let's light up your bioregion, move and beyond all of these limitations. Just give me a second here. I need to put 3 things in the chat for this one as well. So UNDRIP Day 2025, today, isn't the end. It is the beginning. So we are planting trees, yes, but we're also planting a future toward a better future we know is possible. By 2027, with AKDN and Canada as our partners in the Friends of the African Union networks, we'll transform the world for the better. No more fighting, just thriving. So step outside, grab a shovel, talk to your neighbor, and let's make today, April 22nd, the day that we stopped the insanity and started the sanity. So now I'd like to also talk about our primary long-term project, bringing together voices, vibrations, and visions. We call this the UnityNet Winalto Project to create regenerative opportunity for all. So I'm going to put in my contact information one more time into the chat for those who might have come on this call a little bit later. So first, though, I want to introduce this Quasi-Turbine Innovation Node as well, where the UnityNet Quasi-Turbine Innovation Node is actually part of our strategy to support clean, compact, and community-friendly energy systems for a regenerative economy, where quasi-turbine technology offers a non-polluting, high-efficiency rotary engine that can function in various applications, especially where solar and bio-based fuels are part of the ecosystem. This is more than tech. It's about local control, resilience, and circularity, from empowering mobile clinics and clean water systems to driving small-scale farming tools or off-grid workshops. This innovation supports community-led infrastructure. So, unlike traditional combustion engines, the quasi-turbine operates without a crankshaft or reciprocating motion, making it ultra-compact, nearly vibration-free, and highly adaptable to various fuels, including biofuel, hydrogen, or compressed air. Its mechanical simplicity reduces wear and tear, extends lifespan, and minimizes emissions. Its versatility makes it ideal for remote locations, micro-industries, mobile labs, and off-grid learning centers, all align with our UnityNet vision of sustainable, people-powered innovation. So our pilot initiatives explore use cases in both sub-Saharan Africa and rural Canada, beginning with the UnityNet Youth Peace Gardens and Food Energy Learning Labs. The potential use cases include water pumping in irrigation, portable refrigeration for food and medicine, mobile maker pods for youth learning and enterprise, backup systems for community clinics. We're seeking partnerships with indigenous groups, technical universities, co-op networks, and regenerative designers to help bring this innovation to communities most in need. So again, putting some information into the chat for those who would like to learn more. So we see this innovation node not only as a technical breakthrough, but as a platform for co-creation where inventors, mechanics, youth, and elders can experiment, adapt, and scale regenerative energy tools.
Is somebody
If you
getting a
or
call
your
in?
organization is interested in testing, customizing, or co-developing quasi-turbine based systems, we invite you to join our UnityNet Innovation Circle. Let's spark an energy transformation from the bottom up, rooted in community, culture, and climate change. So now I would also like to talk about our primary long-term project, bringing together voices, vibrations, and visions, the UnityNet Winalto Project, and to create regenerative opportunity for all.
There's a couple of people that are unmuted.
Did we have the muting? Thank you. Is somebody in charge of it? Thank you. Okay, so I'd like to welcome you to the Winalto Sound and Story Network as well. Winalto is a word that invites us to listen to one another, to the land, and to the stories that shape us. The Winalto Project is a story network, a global initiative to preserve, protect, and activate local wisdoms, especially those from underserved and indigenous communities, by gathering audio, visual, and lived experiences at youth peace gardens and forests along all of the youth peace routes. Herschel, could we have the people muted?
Yeah, and there's two people I think are muted. There's a Macford that's unmuted, and Kasareka is unmuted.
We need to have Chairman Daniels to control this because I have no chance.
Well, Chairman Daniels just made a group call to several people to get them to join. So let me scan.
Okay. Well,
we still
will
have
continue.
The Honorable Andrew. He needs to turn. No, he's fine.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Thank you.
Lloyd, what do you need?
Macford.
Just
mute Macford.
Right, thank you.
Hello.
Okay, thank you.
Macford, please mute your microphone.
All right, I'm going to turn, Lloyd, I'm going to turn hosting over to you.
Thank you.
And then Lisa, perhaps you'll be a co-host and you can assist, or I can, or we can.
I'm good with that.
All right, so I apologize. And yeah, Andrew, I'm glad that you're here. And let me get the co-hosting. So, Lloyd, do you want me to turn it over to you or Andrew?
Turn it over to me. Turn it over to me. Lloyd's making his presentation.
All right, Lloyd, you're the host now.
Lloyd,
Muted now.
you're muted.
Lloyd, turn your microphone on.
Yeah, all right. No, I got it. Thank you very much. Looks like everybody was muted. Okay, thank you. We'll continue. We'll hopefully have a copy of this video. We can edit out the stuff that we don't need to listen to. Okay, so I believe I'm at slide 17 right now. We only have a few more left. So as we move forward in our what we call our Sonic Heritage project, we're inspired by the cities and memory. Sonic Heritage Project, the Winalto Project, builds on the idea of sound as cultural identity. But we go further, integrating dance, sport, storytelling, food, and ceremony, because culture isn't static. It lives and breathes in the everyday. We invite partners like UNESCO, the Global Center for Pluralism, AKDN, and WADF to help expand this tapestry globally. So Winalto is rooted in the Jubilee spirit and Pope Francis' call for unity and reconciliation. It is about healing through listening to the land, to each other, and to the wisdom in every language and rhythm. Through interfaith partnerships, UnityNet encourages AI that listens ethically, with empathy, care, and cultural awareness built into the foundations. So I'm just putting in a network that is not yet in existence, but will be coming soon. So this mobile regenerative learning campaign empowers young people, youth, to envision and build futures aligned with community values and circular economies. Hosted in story pods and youth peace gardens, this lab integrates training in ethics, creative technology, agroecology, and enterprise development for an AI era. We're collaborating with the Do the Dream Empowerment Scheme and others to ensure these labs serve real youth potential. So again, you'll find the links in the chat. So this is our artistic and ecological response to the climate crisis, a worldwide sound and light installation co-created by artists, healers, musicians, youth, and elders. These symphonies activate youth peace gardens and forests globally as hubs of storytelling, ceremony, and collective care. So Winalto is part of a broader transition and that UnityNet envisions from extractive systems to regenerative, circular, inclusive economies powered by renewable energy.
Lord, you're the host.
Respect for life.
Lord, you're the host.
I'm trying, it doesn't work. Somebody else needs to be a host too.
Yeah, there's no way he's going to be able to do that.
Then make me host, or at least
People are coming in, not on mute.
Please. Hand it over.
So Winalto,
Lord, stop and make Lisa Anise host or me host.
let me see. How do I do that?
Click the participant and make host or make co-host and participants.
I don't see even that option. Okay, make host.
Thank you.
All right, I made Lisa Anise a host. Okay, where am I here? So Winalto is part of a broader transition and that UnityNet envisions, from extractive systems to regenerative, circular, inclusive economies powered by renewable energy, respect for life, and solidarity across geographies and generations. So this work supports the mending goals, the regenerative development goals, and aligns with Laudate Dom's call to action. And this is where I'm going to just put some additional information again in the chat.
That's okay. This is Chris Collins from Chicago that met me in Kansas
So
City.
could we have that mute?
Oh,
David Edwin, I believe. Thank you. This is an invitation to join the Winalto Network, a call to cultural organizations, interfaith leaders, AI researchers, regenerative designers, educators, and youth mentor coaches to co-create this network of listening, learning, and legacy. By planting peace and growing solidarity across Turtle Island and Africa and Eurasia and beyond in the Jubilee spirit. So you'll find again in the chat some additional discussion networks. Our network that we are building for all to support. So in the closing of this presentation, I just would like to say thank you to everybody that has come on the call today. This is the launch of hopefully something very, very much bigger than what we've been doing over these past few years. With this, I'm going to close out my presentation and open it up to those who wish to learn more and have a discussion. So it is about 9:30 now. That went faster than I expected, but I believe this can now work for those who would like to discuss what I had presented here. So we can open it up to all who would like to talk. We can actually end up finishing up early today. I'd like to as well invite, if they are on our call today, just seeing if we have our friend. Herschel, Chairman Herschel, I see your hand is up. Would you like to say a few words as well to let us continue?
Yeah, Lloyd, I just wanted you to know that we support this effort completely, but from a perspective of bringing to the table under the treaty between North America, between the Canada, the United States, and Mexico, from the United States, because we are a signature on the Treaty of Berlin of 1885 in the United States, which became American law in 1930, that as a person of African descent, that my brothers and sisters on the continent, over 600 million of them, have no electricity. 400 million have spotty electricity. And that we're petitioning our government in the United States Compact for Democracy with a Just Economy to create funding of $100 billion a year for the next 75 years by creating 1,000 partnerships. And each partnership is based off of the work like what we did in PNC in the creation of the $88 billion Community Benefit Agreement under statutory law, Community Reinvestment Act. And that in Canada, TD Bank, which is an American bank also, okay, that we can show how in Canada, in the next government, that if under the treaty between the United States, Canada, and Mexico, how this can be done if our federal government does not want to do this. But again, that is going to happen around Juneteenth of this year, which Americans are going to learn based on NPA Canada's work over the past 2 years, that when people of African descent were fleeing from enslavement here, that they ended up in Canada, and Canada has over 1.3 million people of African descent currently, and that has its own policy, and that we look forward to working with all of those who want to work with us in the World Conference of Mayors. We'll be on that call at noon today. I'll put it in the chat for those who want to join us from this. Thank you, Lloyd. Appreciate all the work that you do here.
Thank you very much, Chairman Herschel. We will continue to have the dialogue and continue to have our networks working together on all of these initiatives and ensure that we are building these networks that are inclusive and across all our borders, that are, of course, recognized by the settlers. But we are now seeing John Moss with his hands up, and I believe he would like to say a few words as well. John?
Good morning, everybody. I'm the chairman president of Indigenous People for the World Conference of Mayors and Historical Black Towns and Settlements Association. And I also run a nonprofit Cache Community Development as a member of the Caddo Indian tribe, which is separate from the nonprofit. But we work with Indigenous tribes, First Nations in Canada, our brothers and sisters up there, and other tribal nations all over the world. And I just want to thank you, Lloyd, and everybody involved in these initiatives, that we continue to protect and keep Mother Earth safe and Father Sky, and we all do unite in that, because as we know, we only have one planet, and sadly there's so much deterioration that's been taking place, which I won't go into, but I just wanted to take a moment and tell you, Lloyd, thank you so much for everything and everybody's work. And of course, to the Honorable Andrew Williams for his work continually. And he was who introduced me to Honorable Herschel Daniels, who we've been with up at the United Nations in 2016, presenting such things, and is still going on in BIPOCA. So I just wanted to say hi to everybody, and I know there's a lot of challenges that we all face, but so is Mother Earth. We just have to work through it all. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Thank you very much. And we will continue these discussions across what is considered the settlers' borders. And I know that many Indigenous people don't look at those in the same lens that we do in our settler countries we've established over here on Turtle Island. I'm going to ask Lisa Anise. I'm seeing her name or her hand is up, so I believe she would like to say a few words as well.
Oh, no, just introducing the very first of groups that I've been working with, which is my own dance and fitness concepts. What we do is we design programs, movement-based programs for every age and need. A long history of program development. One of the reasons why I was brought into this was my work to start restoration of cultures, dance cultures worldwide that have been, well, had at by oligarchs and royalist groups for generations, and are now divided enough that they're even thwarting their own historical development in the favor of grabbing a coin or two, which hard way to go. Culture is identity. Without identity, we become prone to all manner of social ills. and in areas of conflict, mass migration, and social interruption, we see those ills rise. And we're talking about the normal social ills: drugs, alcohol, sex violence, all kinds of crime. For this to be brought down, Dance and Fitness Concepts, their goal is to get cultural education, starting with the dance, back into the schools worldwide. We are pulling in dance federations and international grassroots groups that support dances of many types into eventual fellowship to further understand the true importance of the work that they do. It's far higher than they think. So moving all this forward, because of the connections that I've made, I've been able to avail myself of several other jobs. One is Global Outreach Director and voted in founding member of UnityNet International. I'm also liaison officer for a number of the other groups that are already here. If you want me to make a list, ask and I'll write it up and send it to you. It's a long one. And there is more in the offing. We're all looking at much larger groups coming in, multinational nonprofits that have actually reorganized in order to be able to extend the services they bring, so that they're actually having full divisions that they've devised for, well, the simple thing of bringing services to refugees and forced migrants everywhere. It's a growing concern. That number is, well, considered to be around, well, it's well over 20 million. It's extended to go beyond 100 million within the next 6 years. So what we're doing here is looking to set up social infrastructures to mitigate that situation as much as we can. That's the UnityNet goal. And it's part of why I'm here. So should any of you ask or wish to hear more about that history, feel free to contact me. I'll put my contact into the chat. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Lisa Anise. I'm seeing as well, we have Dr. Obi coming on with us as well. But typically I am usually asking our female members if they'd like to say a few words first before we bring on our gentlemen. So I'm seeing, for instance, Samantha and Joanne and Patricia, who else? Michelle on with us as well. If anybody else would like to say a few words, this is hopefully being recorded, and we will want to have your name and what has been you have said in our report as well about this call, which will be processed hopefully by the end of the weekend. And so as we move forward, we'd like to ensure that all the voices of our members are being heard. If none else, anybody else would like to say a few comments on what is being proposed and what is moving forward in these partnerships. It's very important that we launch this. Dr. Obi, did you want to say a few words? No?
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you, madam. Well, long time. You know, you're always on the journey.
No additional word there? You don't want, would you like to introduce yourself at least? Anybody else would or have some interest in telling us who they are, where they are, what they've been doing, what is their interest, what is their connection? We are open floor.
All right, I'll say hello. I was invited by Chris Collins. This was a very lovely introduction. This is new for me over here for this group. My name is Patricia Frudenberg, also known as Patty from New York. I am part of Rotary right now. I'm transitioning to a new club as we are creating a new club, which is a virtual club that could be global. However, I'm interested coming in from a Rotary standpoint, right? So you talked about world order, which definitely caught my interest, and you shared a lot of groups with it, which I already automatically went and requested to join, which I'm excited to go back and tap into. Where do you begin? It seems very macro, which is exciting, right? I love hearing these world changes. But where do you start on a micro level? Where would you recommend someone like me who is new to this type of group? And you know, I think I made myself clear. Where would I start? And thank you for your presentation.
Yeah, thank you, Patricia.
Hello, Lloyd.
I'm seeing Lisa Anise has her hand up, and
I
she's
think
very eager to say something.
Yes, as a global outreach director, I can tell you this entire program is built from the ground up. It starts in your own community, and through specific purposes that the network of networks of nonprofits worldwide have used since 1863, we've actually been able to organize large swaths of nonprofit organizations in other areas where conflict and mass migration have been an issue. So it's a well-worn path. You start with a few of your friends in your community that work with other organizations, and certainly with the Rotary Club. What you have in common with many other clubs like the Elks, the Eagles, and whatnot is part of your work, part of your charter with the government is support for youth programs. That's an excellent place to start. One of the best ways to mitigate for peace when things like art, culture, and identity are at stake is put them in the schools. We've historically done this with sports of many kinds. If you know the history of baseball, that's a fine example of what we did to deal with many issues that were going on. And then if you would like, I've put my information in the chat. You can talk to me directly and I can talk to you, tell you about what the progression is based upon normal human behavior. That'll help you formulate a plan.
Yeah, so the whole concept here, and this has been a conversation we've been having initially actually with Andrew Williams Jr., and I'm hoping he'll be able to say a few words as well. But this concept of globalization, where we're looking at the big picture, the global goals, these sustainable development goals right now, and then post 2030, whatever those goals might be, we're looking now, obviously, having discussions with Chairman Herschel Daniels Jr. at the FAU about the mending goals as the potential next set of goals post 2030. But taking those goals, setting goals for ourselves and our communities, our families, and the people we know all around us, whether they are actually physically in our own communities or like this network extended around the world, and saying, how can we implement these goals here where we are? So bringing them local. What are the partners we need to work with to enable us to achieve those goals right here where we live, each in our own local communities? And so we have to take a look at what we're trying to achieve and say, yes, let's create local businesses, profit-making organizations even, in our communities. But the purpose of those businesses are no longer just to make money. They are there to implement the goals. As a framework, we call this the idea of humanitarian entrepreneurship, where we are seeking a humanitarian purpose of uplifting all people and achieving those goals within the framework of our local community-based enterprise, our business, whether it's for-profit or nonprofit or cooperative or whatever it is. But we look at those goals and we say, we want to achieve those. That is our purpose, our meaning, and the path forward. Even if we don't know exactly how to get there, at least we have that goal in mind, or the goals in mind, to achieve them. And we won't do them ourselves necessarily, but if we can partner with others in our community, again, whether it's the public sector, private sector, civil societies, academic, interfaith, whatever the sector in your community is going to help you achieve those goals, that's who you want to partner with. So it's not just about competing with everybody, it's about creating those local community-based partnerships. So I would like to invite Andrew Williams Jr. if he may be able to say a few words. I'm not sure, because we are actually very intimately tied into a conversation that's been going on for many years. And Floribert, did you want to say a few words as well?
Lloyd, I'm here. How are you this morning? Can you hear me okay? Lisa, my screen is frozen. Can you hear me?
We can
Yes,
hear
I
you.
can.
Well, thank you very much. This is Andrew Williams Jr. Well, let me begin here. I really feel humbled by having all of you here, although I haven't been actively participating recently. It is, in fact, the work that began in 1999 that brings me here. At that time, Kofi Annan of the United Nations launched what he called the UN Global Compact in 1999. It was actually officially launched on July 26th of 2000. That was with a group of corporate leaders, 40 corporate leaders at that time, and they focused on a way to connect together not just the United Nations, but businesses and nonprofit organizations to collaborate together to achieve outcomes at a local level and global level. Hence, my suggestion that we focus on localization, having global impacts from our local communities. In 2015, I was elected as president of 5 Points Youth Foundation in Los Angeles, California, and I was privileged by Silky D. Williams to also become part of the National Advisory Board for the Universal Hip Hop Museum in Bronx, New York, and am here as a bridge and glue for everyone here to connect together through our ongoing networks. On Facebook, you can join us at the AHIABGA-TV network group, and AHIABGA is where Lloyd and I joined forces back in September 21st of 2019, along with Janice Da Silva out of Cabo Verde, to create a network of regional goodwill ambassadors, not just local, but in Lloyd's case, he was appointed as the representative for Canada, but Canada is also a Francophone country, a French-speaking country, and it is in fact Turtle Island as well. And so the idea was to find a way that we could bring together a dozen representatives around the world that would allow us to connect people, again, locally, but also multilingually and multiculturally together. Earlier, John Moss mentioned that I had introduced him to Herschel Daniels. That was in 2012. And so all of you here are invited to join us in our continuing outreach to bring each other together in one global family together. I do want to share my screen briefly. and that we do have an upcoming event with the Hip Hop Architecture Camp. And Lloyd, this might be of interest to you because they're based in Detroit, Michigan, right across the border from Toronto. And what we hope to do is be able to get our youth involved in the design of our future so that they can become part of the architects of the future. All of you here are certainly invited to join. It's free. It'll be coming up later this year. And I was instrumental here in Los Angeles to invite them to have a camp at Los Angeles Trade Technical College. And it's, in fact, their architectural and environmental design department, headed by Professor Marcela Oliva, that launched what was called the Encounter Think Tank. And it is out of that organization that all of the activities that you see me involved with has evolved over the years. And I spoke with Professor Marcela Oliva just last week, and she's in favor of us expanding our outreach around the world. So I do want to thank all of you for participating with us here. And I'll briefly share my screen for the Facebook page and group. And I ask you all to just simply join our Facebook group, and then we'll be able to communicate on a regular, ongoing basis. And you can also post there your activities and share with the rest of the world upcoming events that we can all begin to collaborate together to share. So I'm going to see if I can share the screen briefly, and I'll turn it back over to you, Lloyd.
Thank you, Andrew. Actually, it was just a bad timing, but my computer froze just as you started to speak, so I probably only caught about half of what you said, unfortunately.
Well, the great news is that we are, in fact, recording all this. And just to let you know, I will take the initiative to, even though it's raw, I'll share this raw content. So that any of you would like to review it, you can. If you can see my screen now, I've got on here, I think, do you see AHIABGA-TV network? Can you see my screen?
Yeah, it's coming up. It says
Yes,
Facebook
yes,
Hip
it's
Hop
there.
Architecture Camp Virtual Town.
Yes, yes. Well, this is the event I was talking about. It's coming up on June the 16th.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Andrew. You're
It
breaking up.
is a free. Okay, I'll try that one more time. Thank you. This is being hosted by Michael Ford. I had the opportunity to meet him here in Los Angeles. He's also a member of the Universal Hip Hop Museum, but I was instrumental in bringing that camp to Los Angeles. I would invite any of you anywhere to invite them to come to your location, to your school, and to be able to share the empowering our youth through their culture in ways that fit their local communities in their local language so that we can all collaborate together. But I invite you again to just go to our Facebook group, and you can join there and find out all this information. So Herschel Daniels, thank you so much for inviting me here. I've been supporting your efforts since we first met in 2012, and I'll continue to do that for the rest of my life. So thank you all.
We're the juniors who will succeed in 2025. We also have the World Conference of Mayors. The Director General of the World Conference of Mayors is here. And then we have the Dr. Werla Group. The World Conference of Mayors Director General, Dr. Abdullah Ming, the floor is yours.
Dr. Abdullah, your mic is off.
There we go.
Yes, I was driving. I was just trying to park. You don't want to take any chances.
There you go. Okay.
That's
your
right.
insurance will not say, well, go ahead. Go ahead.
Now, good morning, everyone. And thank you, Chairman, for inviting me. First, I just wanted to congratulate everybody for what you were doing. I get to listen to what has been said, and what we are facing is real, it's challenging. You know, it's this will go. What we do now will make a difference for many, many generations to come. You know, my name is Abdoulaye Meng. I'm originally from Senegal. I was born and grew up from a big city like Dakar. And as you know, the next coming maybe 10 years, by 2030, 35, the 10 biggest city in the world will be in the country of Africa. Those that went to Lagos or Cairo or as a big African city can see the challenges. Those are going to the rural area, like I do every 3 months when I go to the continent. We see what is happening with the earth. I am saying coastal villages. You can see people, their livelihood is disappearing. Fisher people have been living for fishery for generations. Today, they are in dire poverty because we failed to acknowledge what was happening and that many of those governments do not have the resources. We need to take up this earth. Yes, some of those people might be able to get their shuttle, go to Mars, but people like me and my family and most of you, we cannot afford that. Therefore, we need to take up this earth. I just want to commend you for the work that you're doing. It is important. I want to talk briefly about our upcoming conference. I am the Director General for the work of Mayor, and at the same time, the Vice President for Africa. We've been trying to bridge between the United States and the continent, working with Chairman Herschel with FAU. I've been to the first session for the Permanent Forum on People of Africa in Geneva. I did address the leadership at that time, and what I is that we need not only to have something transformational, but to be transformative. And why do I insist on the term transformative? Because it does empower. And what we need is to empower the people. And most humanitarian work, yes, they were able to save temporarily, but did they give the tools to the population to empower themselves? I like the idea of having really businesses to be sustainable. It must be profitable. All those organizations that were under the auspices of the USAID. I did work for USAID as a coordinator for the program in Senegal and left because there was no impact. And one thing that made me leave is that all those programs we were funded, and the day that we stopped funding it, people will need, it's not going to be sustainable. And what we look for is we make it people to pay life instead. I need
Greetings, everyone. I hope you can see me, you can hear me. Okay, great. Greetings, everyone. Greetings, Honorable Dr. Abdullah. It's always great to hear you, and we second what you say. So we just create Earth today. Today is Earth Day, but for our organization, Dr. Work Group, we look at Earth Day as this whole month, but also the responsibility of a whole nation around the world every day of the year. As you know, Dr. Work Group specifically contributes to overcoming dehumanization. And in that space, we recognize Earth is our home. We have responsibility to how to be able to take care of her, and able to create all individual to be able to continue that. Can't send the children out here and go to be able to take care. We need the opportunity to create the fire for the human as an inheritance that Earth has provided us. Its resources, it benefits and will stay on. So you have to possibly that need a water career to Earth Day and what we do as a people across the continents to be effective at its core. That involves research, that involves communications, that involves recognizing the culture which has been in time immemorial always speaking of Earth as its source and force, its medicine, and its ability to sustain people across the world and its history. So with that respect, we are also engaged in Brownsville Heritage House from 5 to 8 for engaging in Earth Day as we talk about the different spaces and I'll open up a space to converse about Earth Day. We were just recently with the United Nations 4th session of PFPAD. And one of those issues is the concern of climate change and the ability for women in the field of agriculture and innovation and innovation and technology to be able to address these things. We also fight against gender disparities and gender inequalities, gender inequalities and the abuses that war can create for women and children. A lot of people don't know, and if you don't know by now, you haven't kept your ear to the floor or to any news that you heard around. But women and children are the first to experience climate change. They know exactly how much food has been changed for their family, the ability to nourish the family, and know the results of what they have collected for the family. Stunting is an issue where malnutrition occurs where the nutrients are not there, and stunting is not limited to I'm sorry, I'm being called away. Apologies, Chairman Daniels. I'm being called away in emergency.
Okay, so what I also wanted to
Lloyd, that's through, and back to you.
Yeah, thank you. What I also wanted to acknowledge as well, and we did have our Indigenous colleague come on earlier, is that not only is this being recognized as Earth Day, but we are also acknowledging the commemoration of UNDRIP Day, which was, again, one of our members who had proposed that Earth Day should be also thought of as UNDRIP Day. So we recognize that UNDRIP, the Universal Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, is also in force at the UN level as well. The other person that I'm hoping that might say a few words, and I saw his hand up earlier, but he had put it down, is Hafiz Ladhani, and he is up here with us also in Canada, and he is in Edmonton. So if you would like to say a few words on what we are talking about today. Thank you.
Apologies for the background. I just realized for some reason I let some team members in this account, and there's Forex things going on. There's my picture in the background. There's meetings I never set up on my schedule. But okay, so Lloyd, you really started something, and I guess this is the result of the partial input I saw into ChatGPT. It developed into this, and so now I see the scope of all the organizations that have added. So I sent you contact points in Canada for the whole organization, email addresses, the people involved on the senior leadership teams. You and Kareem should be able to just enter the office cycle, connect your offices to their offices, and get to work tomorrow morning. I let the Americans know in the senior leadership as well to coordinate with you directly, and I was actually, so you can just directly deal with Peter Polk, and he's part of command group, and anything you need, we will be put into place. So obviously we'd like to get to the resolution of the Canadian government and deal with them directly, but in the meantime you can hold the focus, and I'll let you know that His Highness Prince Rahim Aga Khan V had a regularly scheduled message to us that I went to the Ismaili Center over at 153rd and I guess 95th Street in Edmonton, Northwest, on Sunday. It was on Easter, right before the Pope died. And I was just gonna go there and work on some files, and the message was pretty. It was a standard message, okay, but it was a very important one that they only pull out at certain times, if that makes sense. And it let us know that we're in a very special position of trust, respect, and discretion, and that he himself personally is relying on us globally, worldwide, in the function you are doing. So to let everybody here know, Lloyd is a super soldier doing the work of a knight commander of the Order of the British Empire. So act appropriately until His Highness shows up. So thank you, Lloyd.
Well, thank you, Hafiz. I appreciate the honor of being placed in this position. A little bit scary to be considering myself in such a noble place, but we are attempting to do something I think that has not been done before. Of course, we are bringing on all our allies as we can, and it is something that we have, I believe, opportunities in developing these partnerships across all of these what we call nations, or as Herschel refers to them as the states. We are coming together in this grand project of localization, but it is looking through the lens of not just the Aga Khan Network itself, but the Global Center for Pluralism, and this pluralistic world that we are attempting to create in parallel as well as we implement these solutions. As I noted, or as Hafiz had noted as well, the ChatGPT work I've been doing also with Grok and with other AI tools, looking at these types of solutions, like the one I had put in my presentation. We can see, and especially when we combine them all, that the possibility is there to actually achieve a return on investment and positive growth in the economy by the large-scale implementation of these solutions in synergy with each other. to create wealth at the grassroots through the implementation of the programs that will ensure our livelihoods and the growth of not just our human economy, but the economy of nature and all of our relations. So Andrew, I'm seeing your hand up as well.
Yes, thank you so much, Lloyd. And Hafiz, welcome here. It was actually Marshawn Kinsey that connected us together, Hafiz. Back.
Yes, sir. Yeah, absolutely. I, did want to say Andrew was the one that connected me to her show as well. And if you're able to, I believe Marshawn is the
But
conductor.
it was,
Is he still the conductor at Gmail? Marshawn?
Yes, no, that's correct. Yes.
Thank you,
But
Andrew. I'm gonna start
he was in that encounter group.
Yeah.
Yeah, please do. Yeah, I met Marshawn back in 2011, but he was also part of our encounter think tank. I see other members here. Sir Bailey is here from Los Angeles. Brad Carson is here from Los Angeles as well. And Brad, we've been kind of out of touch, but last I recall, you were also the president of the excuse me. Well, Brad Carson, can you introduce yourself, please, if you're there and available? And Sir Bailey, if you can. Are you each there? Brad, Sir Bailey, are you there? Can you speak? If not, Lloyd, I'll turn it back over to you.
Okay, I've just also clicked to ask Brad if he can unmute himself and introduce himself to the members here. I don't see Sir Bailey on with us anymore.
Okay, he was here earlier.
Yeah.
No worries. Well, thank you so much.
I would love to hear from what Sir Bailey is doing. It's been actually a couple of years, I think, since we last spoke. But this is definitely a growing family, and this is now. I am feeling that this is certainly a conglomeration of people that seem to be from such diverse backgrounds and histories, but there is something in common. And I believe that actually Hafiz has put it in a very simple way, and it's been something that a lot of us have also embraced, and that is that we love nature, we love people, and we love this planet. And I think that is the top message that I heard, especially when first having conversations, especially with people like Sir Bailey and others from the Encounter think tank, was that what really caught me the very first time was a hip hop video coming out of the Caribbean, with the lyrics of that video being "We love our planet," and that was probably what really caught my eye the first time when I said, "This video says it all," and that brought me in. And I know you know which one I'm talking about, Andrew.
I'll share it before we leave, because I just spoke with the producer of that, Delmar Drummond, today, the Danger Zone, and we hope to be able to bring that to Toronto or to the Windsor and make that the theme for the rest of our decade, Lloyd. But I do also see I've invited Dr. Yewande here. Dr. Yewande, can you unmute and introduce yourself, please, Lloyd, if I may have Dr.
Yes,
Yewande
please.
do so?
Oh,
Yes, please introduce yourself.
yes. I don't know how you want me to introduce myself. I've got so many hats.
We have,
But I
take time,
call I
introduce.
just call myself the Grand Duchess of Ubuntu Empire. So I'm a princess, a queen, a Grand Duchess, an IHRC ambassador, and very soon I'm going to be crowned in Nigeria. So I lost my father a year ago, and I'm taking over my royal duties. So I'm working hard with the youth across Malawi, Nigeria. My jurisdiction is UK, Ireland, US, Canada, and Mexico as an IHRC ambassador. IHRC has moved from Switzerland now to New Mexico and New York. So our headquarters is now in the US. It makes it easier for, US citizens are not happy to send their passport and all of that to Switzerland. So we are now in New Mexico. In a few months, by God's grace, I'll be a fellow of the American College of Healthcare Executives. I look forward to this one under the state of California next year in March. I missed it this year because of my royal duty. So I'm taking charge when it comes to tree planting. I'm making clothes, African clothes, Indian clothes. I have seen some on Amazon that have trees, like shapes of trees, what trees look like during winter. But there are people that design clothing. So we want our fabric to, to show plants, even if it's just a palm frond. I mean, California is a sunny place, is a good place. I know I've worked in care centers in the UK, and the patients laugh at me and say she's wearing a summer dress in California every day is summer. I'm sorry if it's a summer dress in England, So we could use the opportunity of the weather now to express ourselves, especially the youth. And as a queen, I have taken that pledge to help my people improve. Yes, I've got a doctorate degree, but not every queen has a doctorate degree. So that's the problem with traditional rulers. They're not educated to that level to understand your project. So we are bringing the project down to Africa and Asia and all other places where it needs to be known. By trying to bring educators on board. If they understand your project, it will be easy to adopt. My coronation is in June in Nigeria, and in lieu of a party, that's why I said I don't know how to introduce myself. I've been a widow for 6 years, so I'm married to my people now. In lieu of a party, I'm doing a tree planting project for the youth.
Well, if you can, Dr. Yolanda, please explain to them how your work in providing multilingual education in the healthcare industry and your books have an impact on the world.
Yes, in healthcare, we're running short of translators, and we can't afford it anymore to have translators for all our patients. Probably they've come from regions where there's disaster, and we're spending even much more on translators than healthcare workers. So my concept is to say, hey, we've got doctors who haven't passed their PAB. We've got doctors who haven't passed their USMLE, but they're from Africa and they speak the language very well. Why don't we let them be medical language translators licensed in the US first, and while they are waiting to pass their licensing exams? So that way we can increase healthcare workers' ability to understand their patients, especially in a place like California where we've got, bilinguals, a lot of Spanish-speaking patients. So if we've got these doctors who have not studied in the US, for example, and they speak so well in Spanish, I've got so many criminal lawyers here in the UK and they can't pass the English test. So, well, I don't care whether you speak English or not, a lawyer is a lawyer. So that way we've been able to have 20 languages: English, French, Spanish, Brazilian Portuguese, Italian, Chinese, Arabic, Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, Malawi, Chichewa. And, Malawi was shocked. There hasn't been an African medical book in Chichewa language, Yoruba language, things like that. Even in Bengali, we have Sinhalese, we have Tamil, yes, the country representative. We are looking at launching these books towards August 10, because I'm now an adjunct instructor at Z School on healthcare programs. So the course is Anesthetic Pharmacology 101, available in 20 languages. That will train our doctors to not just be doctors, but they must be able to speak at least one language. If you're going to work in California, you should be able to speak in Spanish. That's what your patients speak it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So it's good to reconnect with you again, Yolanda, and so we will continue to have our conversations. I know you were involved initially as well in some projects, I believe, with the airlines as well. And so there's an interesting discussion I had with, again, the AI tools recently about the potential for multi-country partnerships. So I'd been looking, of course, with the major tariff threats from the Trump administration in the US, at some potential strategies for creating new multi-stakeholder partnerships, in particular by leveraging, again, these global networks like the Commonwealth of Nations, of which, again, Canada is a member, and I believe also the US has, Herschel has mentioned some connections as well. But the multi-stakeholder partnership potential for actually scaling up biofuels production in places like Africa. And we had looked specifically at a scenario where there were a number of companies that potentially could come together from different countries, some from Canada, some from India, some from even Nigeria and Kenya. And so bringing all these actors together to actually deploy solutions at scale that would then generate the potential for producing the types of energy systems and fuel feedstocks that are necessary to begin transitioning away from fossil fuels is possible, but only through these major partnerships, if that can take place as well. Andrew, I see your hand is up one more.
Yes, I do see a Vincent here. If that's Vincent White, he's very much involved with waste management. CETS has been a trendsetter for many years. I was, again, very privileged to be able to connect him indirectly with Herschel Daniel. So if that Vincent is Vincent White, if you're there, could you please introduce yourself?
Yes, greetings all. This is Dr. Vincent White, and I've been listening tentatively. As you know, I've been in the trenches for a long time, trying to educate and prepare our communities around the net zero, as well as the circular bioeconomy ecosystem. As you know, waste is the catalyst for a true net zero circular bioeconomy ecosystem in which we all should be aspiring to reach as we help these nations and communities at large transition their GDPs to net zero by 2050. So yes, I am at the forefront of helping bringing sustainable solutions to those danger zones and those underserved. I see them as new emerging markets, as only less than 8% of that global GDP is on the pathway towards a total net zero circular economy paradigm shift. So we bring those solutions and ability to integrate, collaborate, and bring total net zero mitigation to our ESGs, environmental social governance, and reaching those commitments signed off by 198 nations. The poor nations do not have the capacity, so we have to mobilize the talent necessary to go into these underserved markets and bring the future ready workforce necessary to transition a global or regional GDP to net zero. Thank you, Andrew, for bringing me to the table many years ago. And we're still at it, my brother. We're still at it. Thank you.
Thank you, Vincent. Yes, and I've also been involved in these types of conversations for at least a decade or more, as well, originally through the biochar networks, which is part of the reason that I'm keen on demonstrating some of the integration of these solutions together at the small scale, starting with, and the idea being with the Community Unity Garden Learning Network to establish the communication tools that allow us to learn from each other and to share knowledge on these open networks of learning so that everybody can be aware of these types of solutions that you have been trying to get into the minds of our youth in particular so they can be the ones to experiment with them. So I'm saying now it is actually 10:31 a.m., which means that we have actually been on our call for 1.5 hours, which is the scheduled time that we had for this call. Are there any final words? Anybody else that would like to maybe close us out? Perhaps either yourself, Andrew, or Chairman Daniels as a final lead out for today's call. If not, I'm just going to ask everybody if they wish to save the chat. They can press those 3 little dots, and when they finish the Zoom call, they will get a copy of everybody's contact information. Yes, Andrew. Or sorry.
Please.
You were broken up there.
Hey, Lloyd, while Ambassador is getting his mic right, give thanks to everyone here for coming on. Bless the Lord for this Earth Day. Thank you. Thank you, Ambassador Williams, for years ago introducing me, introducing us, excuse us, to this group, to this work. Psalms 94, 14, 15, around there says, justice will return unto righteousness, and the upright in heart will follow it. We're grateful for Sooner Gale leading to the kingdom, God's will being done on earth. This is Sir from the Living Well Tour. Hear others be heard and healed together. Art Life Live. Create compassionate community. Again, thank you, Chairman Daniels, Brother Lloyd, Ambassador Williams. And I see you over there, Mr. Carson. Give thanks.
Yes. Yeah, that was Sir Bailey. And Lloyd, I did promise to share with you that video that you mentioned. So let me do that now, and then I'll turn it back over to you. Give me just a moment, please.
I am also seeing Susanna Sandoval and Chris as well have their hands up at this point.
Okay, then please let them go right ahead. I'll wait until they show the video until afterwards. Go right ahead.
Start with Susanna.
I just wanted to share that I too am also an Indigenous woman. I'm grateful to the Chairman Daniels, for invitation. I'm currently attending the Permanent Forum on Indigenous Issues. I'm doing some virtual sessions, and then I'm also doing some individual meetings, follow-ups for the work that I've done as a Human Rights Commissioner for most of my life. And I wanted to just share a song from the ancestors. This is a Lakota song, if I would. I would like to just remind everyone to take some time and get off of Zoom and actually go to the ground. And there's something called grounding, where you actually put your feet on the ground so that you could be mindful of where you are and why you're here. So here's the song. It's a gratitude song. Tonkashela wapelaya ampetukile wakanyalohe vitaguye mazanintela wapelaya. Now it's normally sung 4 times, but in all due respect to all of my ancestors, thanking your ancestors, I'm going to let the ancestors bring us the other 3 directions. And I invite you to stand on the ground today with your feet, and it's preferably your bare feet, so so that you could actually feel your ancestors speaking to you. Thank you so much for all the work everyone's doing. I dropped my email in the chat, and I would like to just close out that way. I'm not being disrespectful, but I've got to jump, unfortunately, to one other Zoom, and then I'm getting offline. Thank you.
Thank you, Susanna. Wonderful to have you here. And I did see some other hands up. I believe, Chris, your hand was up as well.
Yes, it was. Thank you, Lloyd. Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you, everybody that came that I invited. And, you know, it's time for us to actually claim the problems and be the solution that we are. And I love that everybody's, you know, here today to, you know, show the way. And it's just mainly sharing information. And this is what's going to make it more powerful. And that, you know, knowing that we're only as strong as our weakest link, and we're taking a hand up, not a hand out approach to this through business. And, you know, ending hunger, ending the housing issue, it would take a lot of turmoil out of our lives. But, you know, knowing that everyone gets to eat, these are, you know, things that everybody takes for granted that has, but the ones that don't, they don't think about. And everybody's created by a creator to be a creator. And I'll never have a thought for you, but if you share yours with me, we can do. Okay, that's the difference, right? So we got 8 billion people on this planet. Today's Earth Day. It's time for humans on planet Earth. That's HOPE, humans on planet Earth. Housing our people everywhere. Honoring our people everywhere. Bo, yes, brother, yes. Now, everywhere you are on this planet right now, look at the palm of your hand because it's pink. Because you're the human race. We're human beings and we're being human. Okay? We need everybody to start being human. And if you show me the palm of your hand, I'll show you peace on earth. Because that's who we are. We're the human race. And it's time for us to understand that we can stop all the disgrace. And let's take the diss out of our mouths. So no more disrespect. Let's respect. No more dishonor. Let's honor. Okay, no more disability. We all have an ability. We all have a part to play. There's no part too small. We need them all. And let's bring unity into the community and give an equal opportunity. And all that is you and I together is why. Gives you the definition of unity. And I'll finish with a Bible verse, Isaiah 65:21. They will build houses and live in them, and grow vineyards and eat the fruit. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Go
Okay,
ahead.
so I don't see any other people with their hands up at this point, so we may as well share that
Patricia.
video.
No? Okay.
Well, in the meantime, I would ask everyone to put your contact information in the chat. And Lord, I can't capture the chat, so perhaps afterwards you will. Also, I'll provide a transcript of today's activities. And for those of you who are able to, you can access this very same Zoom we're having now on our AHIABGA-TV network in about an hour from now. So I'd ask you to subscribe to our channel and share it with others. And so let me briefly share my screen, if I may here. Give me just a moment here. Share.
I feel in a way we are coming full circle, Andrew. It's
Well,
so nice to hear your voice. Oh boy.
Well, also we have to give thanks to Adam Greenwell and his mother Liz Greenwell. It was they in 2008 who started me on this journey, Lloyd, with you. So let's give thanks to them as well. Here's the video. And you'll find someone here that you might recognize. Well, I don't hear it, so let's see.
Reach out to the world. Beautiful people, this is our beautiful home. Planet 911. We can't allow it to approach the danger zone. We love the earth. We love our planet. We got to cherish and protect it. Care for and respect it. Cause this is our world. Our earth, Mother Earth. Yeah. Our world. Don't hurt Mother Earth. No. Our world. Our earth, Mother Earth. Our world. Don't hurt Mother Earth. This is the moment to heal the earth. Say it loud and make we believe the words. Cause we are one blood, we say one love, peace and unity, one world community. Let's pick up all the pieces, start cleaning up the beaches, stop cutting down the trees, erase those carbon footprints. Let's clean up all the rivers, start bringing back the earth, plant another tree, step forward to reality.
Hoy por hoy la tierra nos necesita, pidiendo auxilio muy fuerte el planeta grita. Detengamos su destrucción, estamos propiciando nuestra propia extinción. Danger zone, this is your moment to hold the earth in harmony. We are one blood, one love, one people. Let's live in peace and unity.
We love the earth, we love our planet. We got to cherish and protect it, care for and respect it. Cause this is our world, our earth, Mother Earth, our world. Don't hurt Mother Earth, our world, Mother Earth, our world. Don't hurt Mother Earth.
It's not yours, not mine. It's ours. So protect your mother who nourish you. Nature is our treasure. Oh, plant a tree, even if it's your last.
We love the earth, we love our planet. We got to cherish and protect it, care for and respect it. Cause this is our world, our earth, Mother Earth, our world. Don't hurt Mother Earth, our world, Mother Earth, our world. Don't hurt Mother Earth.
Yeah, we have to control the climate change. The weather now is crazy, don't you find it strange? We need to stop the war, not the crime and the rage, and get on a united page.
Universal love we approach. Safe pollution on the ocean and the beach. Unite the globe and the gold must reach. Each one teach one rich.
Seres irracionais que se acham demais, destruindo a flora, a fauna e nossos animais. Enchentes, furacões, vemos por todo o mundão. Catástrofes, calamidades, mais vidas se vão. Vamos valorizar água, terra, fogo e ar, pra poder futuramente nossos filhos criar. Independente de cor, parte do time ou sua crença, vamos todos nos unir, fazer uma grande diferença.
Feel we make a change, we have to be the change. Our recycle, we garbage have to rearrange. Save the trees and stop the wildfire blaze. You love the earth, then make me see you born a we love our planet. We got to cherish and protect it, care for and respect it. Cause this is our world, our earth, Mother Earth, our world. Don't hurt Mother Earth, our world, Mother Earth, our world. Don't hurt Mother Earth. Our time now for sacrifice. Cause global warming melt the ice. We need to stop pollution from black the sky. To make we break the silence together with rise. We are fury, we approaching the danger zone. Care for your planet, cause you know say it's your home. Push your flag up in the air and wave it round. One aim, one destiny, one we earth. Are living in the danger zone. Planet Earth is our only home. The 1% wants to live in space to destroy the human race.
Raise hands for our right, forever unified. Take care of our lives.
There's nothing greater than a mother's love. So let's protect our Mother Earth and give her what she deserves. Yeah, listen women, no, it's not too late. We can make a change. If we just keep working together, we make a difference. It's for our children, gotta make a better day. Mold the youth, be a happy day.
Shout outs from Danger Zone, Border Splash, and Generation Hip Hop to Team Planet 911.
We love the earth. We love our planet.
We have a planet.
Well, thank you, Andrew. This is, I think, a perfect closeout to this event today. That is the video that started it all for me too. So long ago, it seems, that really inspired me to do what I'm doing today. And that will, I believe, end our day. We'll ask everybody to, after this call, if they can, go out, take off their shoes and socks, stand on the earth and feel its energy, and be sure you're grounded in the local and understand the global ambitions and the global responsibility that we have, each of us, to establish those partnerships in their communities.
And in closing, I would ask everyone whose email is in the chat, I'll send out to you a recording of today's recording and a transcript. So if you put your email in, I'll make sure you get it. Lloyd, please save the chat for me. I'm unable to do so on my side. Thank you very much.
I will do that for sure. Thank you. Just give it a couple more minutes in case there are anybody else that would like to put their information in the chat if they haven't done so yet. But this now ends our official proceedings for today. So thank you all.
You're the host, Lloyd, so you have to end it.
All right. I just want to say the chat one more time. I'm looking at messages still coming in.
No worries. We're not on time clock.
This is why I'm not ending it. I think there are people that are possibly still writing
Perfect.
messages.
No worries.